So now we're going to do an exploded drawing of this bottle. So an assembly drawing is when you've got all your parts inside one drawing connected together. An exploded drawing is when you take those parts and you basically pull them apart. They can be really useful for helping demonstrate how components fit together or for showing everything that is involved inside an actual component. It's really good as well for internal details. So to create an exploded view, we actually have to use a whole new view type. So we're going to go into New, still in metric because we're always in metric. And we're going to scroll down to the bottom to this presentation file. Still the standard millimeter, but this time our file type is IPN for Inventor Presentation. Double click that to open it up. Now, as with before, the button in the left-hand corner, Create View, is how we're going to bring in this bottle. I'm just going to double check that that's the right one. Yeah, let's use this bottle assembly too, why not? Right, so I don't want to click auto explode. It might seem like an easy option, but it can glitch out quite often and do things that you're not expecting. Sometimes it does it right, but the skill that you're wanting to develop is being able to create these exploded views by yourself. So don't click auto explode. I'm just going to click OK, and then our bottle is going to come in assembled. I now need to pull these things apart. I'm going to do that using tweak components. Now, something that's worth pointing out is this is an incredibly frustrating interface to use in Inventor. You have to be patient with it, and it is a bit of trial and error. If anything does go wrong, that's what the undo button is for. Okay, so I get this little axis appearing. I'm going to click one of the surfaces of one of the pieces that I want to move. Now, my little arrows represent the directions that I can pull this in. Whichever one is highlighted is the direction that this is going to move. So if I clicked and highlighted this arrow, I would move my lid in along this direction, which happens to be the x-axis. But I want to move it up and down, so the one that's automatically been selected, the y-axis, is the correct one. So I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag it. Now you'll see here that it has moved and it has not taken the cap with it. That's actually fine, but if for any reason I didn't like that, I could just click the close and the undo. But I'm actually okay with that, so I'm going to click the tick. I'm just going to pan this up a little bit. Come on, computer. There we go. Tweak components, pick one of the surfaces, check that I've highlighted the correct direction. If I wanted to, I could click another one. And I'm just going to drag it up to where I want it to go. Now, something that is important with an exploded view is you want to, wherever possible, avoid the things overlapping. So I would not want to leave my lid there. I would want to make sure that it's moved so that it's not overlapping by the time that I press that little tick. When I'm happy with it, I am simply going to save it. And let's save this as bottle exploded. Save that. Now this might pop up, it's fine. All it's referring to is if there's been any edits happening on any other models, do you want to save those things? Normally clicking yes to all is fine, and then clicking OK. Okay, so let's go back to our drawing. I want to get my exploded view over here. So I'm going to go back to Place Views and Base, and it has automatically brought it in. If it hadn't brought it in, I could go looking for it in there. Now, if your assignment asks you for a 2D exploded view, that would be fine. That would be exactly what it's looking for. However, I want an isometric exploded view. So I'm going to use the view cube to orientate it until it's where I want it to go. Now, I want a little bit more detail visible on this, so I'm actually going to up the scale to 1:1. Okay, now you can see that I've got these little leader lines that show how these components go together. And I'm just going to use the annotate command like we've used before, and the text, exploded isometric. If it's an exploded isometric, say it's an exploded isometric. You could say exploded pictorial, but if you're being asked for an exploded isometric, make sure that you put in exploded isometric. Now, if I was putting this drawing on the page without any of this information, and it was the only thing that was there, I would want to put parts list on and balloon this information in here. I don't need to because I've got my balloons over there. If you want to see how to do that, look back at a previous video about assembly drawings.